Vietnam's FPT launches AI factory in Japan with Nvidia.
Blinken promises firm response to North Korean soldiers fighting in Ukraine.
Explosions outside Brazil's Supreme Court leave one dead, force evacuation.
You're watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Ha Zhang, your host. Today on November the 14th, leaders from FPT of Vietnam, Nvidia, and global corporations announced the construction of AI factories in Vietnam and Japan, realizing their shared vision of becoming AI-driven nations.
FPTI Factory is a comprehensive toolkit for end-to-end AI development. Any business can create a competitive advantage based on its own data, knowledge, and culture using FPTI Factory. Through its partner ecosystem, FPTI Factory is developed and operated with the commitment of all parties to pool their resources and expertise to unlock the full potential of FPTI Factory as a driving force for transformative innovation. Earlier, in April 2024, FPT and Nvidia announced the development of an AI factory with an investment of $200 million. Alongside the AI factory in Japan, the parties aim to develop sovereign AI for Vietnam and Japan, realizing their shared vision of becoming AI-driven nations.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken warned Wednesday that America is planning a firm response to North Korea's participation in the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken described the deployment of North Korean troops as a profound and extremely dangerous development. While he did not specify the details of the strong actions the U.S. would take, he reiterated his call for NATO members to continue military support for Ukraine. The senior diplomat also stated that outgoing President Joe Biden is committed to ensuring that every dollar the U.S. has will be fully utilized until January 20, 2025, when President Trump is set to take office. Earlier, an unnamed U.S. official told Reuters that the U.S. is doing everything possible to put Ukraine in the strongest possible position by increasing aid from now until the end of the current administration, and coordinating with global partners to ensure they are prepared to respond to any eventualities.
Brazilian police and witnesses reported that the country's Supreme Court was evacuated following two explosions outside the building on the night of November the 30th.
The first explosion occurred in a parking lot next to the courthouse. Witnesses reported hearing two blasts about 20 seconds apart. Police later conducted a search of the area for any suspicious explosive devices. The body of one man was found in the square across from the court. It is unclear whether this individual is related to the second explosion. The Supreme Court is located across from the square, which faces the presidential palace, where President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva had left just minutes before the explosions took place. Authorities are currently expanding their investigation and searching for suspects.
Coming up next are some updated news.
Vietnam's digital economy maintains double-digit growth, reaching a milestone of $36 billion. The e-commerce sector alone accounted for $22 billion in goods value. These figures were released in the 9th Southeast Asia Digital Economy Report by Google, Temasek, and Bain & Company. The report highlights that the online media sector in Vietnam is growing the fastest in Southeast Asia, with projections to reach $11 billion by 2030. Additionally, the report commends Vietnam's ambitious digital roadmap, emphasizing government initiatives to build infrastructure, advance digital technologies, and promote investment in AI and semiconductor technologies, all aimed at boosting economic growth and improving public services.
Le Cong Vinh has become the only Vietnamese football player nominated by the AFF Cup organizers for the Southeast Asian Legend list. According to the AFF Cup organizers, Le Cong Vinh is one of the greatest players ever to win the AFF Cup, not only for his goal-scoring ability but also for his impressive record of 6 tournament appearances from 2004 to 2016. Cong Vinh is the all-time top scorer for the Vietnam national team in the AFF Cup, with 15 goals. His nomination as a Southeast Asian legend is a well-deserved recognition of his significant contributions to Vietnamese football in particular and Southeast Asian football in general. Cong Vinh is also considered a role model and an inspiration for young players to look up to and follow.
This winter, visitors to Moc Chau will be immersed in the pristine white beauty of the daisies that are in full bloom. The region's unique climate seems to make the daisies even whiter and more beautiful. The vast fields of white chrysanthemums blend harmoniously with the deep blue sky of late autumn and early winter, creating a perfect setting for photography enthusiasts. As a result, not only visitors from all over the country but also many locals in Moc Chau are captivated by this poetic landscape. Growing daisies not only enhances Moc Chau's charm and appeal as a tourist destination but also helps improve the livelihoods of the local people.
The 29th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change officially kicked off in Baku, Azerbaijan. This is seen as the major test of cooperation and the determination to intensify the fight against global climate change.
Executive Secretary to address the plenary. Simon, you have the floor.
It is almost certain that 2024 will be the hottest year on record and the first year that temperatures will exceed the 1.5 degrees Celsius target. As a result, this conference holds significant importance and raises new expectations. Countries will aim for a new climate finance goal, replacing the 2009 target of mobilizing $100 billion per year for developing countries by 2020, a target that has never been achieved.
It is the lack of finance that inhibits our ambitions, which is why this COP, the finance COP, we need to deliver. The new climate finance goal must reflect the true scale of the climate crisis. The need is in trillions, not billions.
The COP29 conference is expected to establish rules for international carbon trading under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. This would allow countries to trade carbon credits in order to meet their national climate goals. Additionally, COP29 will focus on developing a universal green taxonomy aimed at establishing standardized criteria for sustainable investment on a global scale.
Climate change, because we want to diversify away from hydrocarbons.
O sucesso da COP29 é parte fundamental para o sucesso da COP30, que teremos o orgulho de sediar em Belém, no Brasil, e também para a resposta global à mudança do clima. A omissão de agora custará muito para o depois. Em nome do presidente Lula, I hope to see you next year in Brazil. Thank you.
Negotiations at COP29 are expected to reach a new financial goal. However, the talks are likely to be challenging due to conflicting interests between countries.
It's the end of today's news. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.